Check this out. These hens decided they wanted to come down and get a dust bath, and Uncle Henry the rooster, being their protector, came down the hill with them. And he's going to crow in a second. And that's just to communicate with them, to let them know, I guess, if there's danger in the area, because they are in an open area. He's going to crow right about now. Do I know my roosters or what? A couple more coming down. A couple up there. They're bathing in the dirt up there, but these guys wanted to go inside the ash pile. He may be calling the other ones, letting them know that it's safe to come down, because he's got a higher pitched screech when there's a hawk flying overhead and they all book and hide for cover. So I wouldn't be surprised. There's one more coming down here. Kind of reminds me of a story that an old friend of mine, she passed away at 99 years of age, Geraldine, from Lake Odessa, Michigan. Her grandfather built a Sears kit house in Lake Odessa that we had bought years later. He built it, put it together in 1896. He put additional additions on it over the years. She grew up in that house. She was born in that house. Matter of fact, she came to visit me once and told me where my bed was in the bedroom was where they laid her mother and father to rest after they died. They didn't have funeral homes back then. They used to have the showings in your home. But anyway, talk about beating around the bush, squirrel time here. I'm all over the map. She told me a story about in the backyard, her grandfather used to own all the property. It was a schoolyard at that time that she told me this. But years before then, her father owned it, and on the other side of it was a small strip of land, and there was a canning factory there, Lake Odessa Cannery, I believe was the name of it. And during World War II, the German soldiers that were held POW were housed and working in that factory, which was no longer there at the time she was telling me this. And every Friday night, a couple of the prison guards would walk these German prisoners from the cannery, and they would walk by her home in a single file with a towel wrapped around their right arm and a bar of soap in their left arm. And they would follow a guard in the front, and there was an armed guard in the back. And they would follow them 2 blocks up the road to the public beach, which is called Jordan Lake. And they would bathe in there. They would go in the lake, and they would lather up with their soap and their towels, and then when they were done, they would march back, and they would stop by her. At this time, her dad owned the house. Would stop by the house at the end of the driveway, and Geraldine was only 4, 5, 6 years old at the time. Would go out at the end of the driveway with her mother with a TV dinner tray, and they would have milk and cookies, and the soldiers would come by, and they would each grab a couple of cookies and a glass of milk, and they would continue on their way back to their headquarters where they were living at the cannery on the other side of the property. Well, what's this have to do with Uncle Henry and my hens, you're asking? I know. It's the squirrel thing again. Well, no, it just kind of reminded me before I start filming here. Uncle Henry was walking down here behind all the hens, well, not all, there was 5 of them, was walking down the hill and single file, and so they could come down and bathe. And I'm not going to be surprised when they're done if he's going to march them back up or go back up on his own. It looks like he's trying to call the other hens to come down, saying it's safe, but that's how those 2 stories tied in together. I don't mean to bore you. Take care. Bye.